Hey gang, it's Seth. Do a video I've been thinking about doing for a couple weeks. See how this goes. This video is about Islamophilia, not to be confused with Islamophobia. The definition of a philia is denoting fondness, especially abnormal love, undue inclinations, or an inability to be critical of something. Lately, if you've had any conversations of Islam or seen anyone engaging in such discourse, I'm sure you've been called or heard someone be labeled as a racist and an Islamophobe. I'm not going to talk about the accusations of being a racist because it's like underwhelmingly easy to debunk. Islam is not a race. Muslims are not a race. So, but going on to the term Islamophobe, generally it's associated with being objectively critical of Islam, using things like facts and logic to present arguments about the problems in Islam, and not easily swallowing the rhetoric and narrative that Islam is a indisputable religion of peace. Congratulations, you've been found guilty of wrongthink and must be personally attacked, shamed, hopefully fired from your job, heck, maybe even beat up and assaulted, because that is what you need. Get back in line. There are Muslims and non-Muslims who will unwaveringly and ignorantly defend their religion. They'll do this even when confronted by former or current Muslims who have stories contrary to the liberal mainstream narrative, and these sycophants will shout down these minorities, try to get them banned from speaking, from publicly speaking, try not to allow them to enter your country, try to get them fired, and ignore the death threats often pushed at the speakers by the peaceful and tolerant Islamists. They have such an irrational, unhealthy, self-destructive, and willfully ignorant mindset on Islam, and they cannot be told otherwise. No personal stories, no evidence, no articles, no surveys, statistics, logics, or insight can shake them. No body count can be high enough. They become a victim of demagoguery and zealotry. Don't think, don't reflect, do not engage in discussion, do not be critical. Now, with that said, if you've used these type of ad hominem responses, if you resort to personal attacks and figure screaming, Islamophobe and racist is the answer, then you most likely suffer from Islamophilia. You're the kind of person who would be raped and apologize to the rapist and try to keep him from getting deported. You're the type of person who would find a child rapist not guilty or sympathize with them because the rapist didn't know the law and didn't know that forcing a young boy or girl into sex when they fought violently and screamed no is a crime. You're the type of person who will tell people, we know dozens of people, including kids, were just targeted and blown up. But don't be angry. You're the type of person who, moments after a group of people of different faith or different color or different ethnicity are gunned down, will post, we will not be divided, before the bodies are even cold, before the blood has been cleaned up off of the streets. You're the person who will wear a hijab to show solidarity with an ideology and political system where if you were doing the same thing, showing solidarity with a cross or a Star of David in a country of peaceful, tolerant Muslims, especially under Sharia law, you would be thrown in jail, beaten, banished, or even killed. You talk about peace and tolerance and Islam embracing women when every week, every day, women are being stoned to death for honor. I don't care if they are guilty. I don't care if they did cheat. I don't care if they did have sex out of marriage. Their people gather around and throw stones at them like animals. Right or wrong, that's not justice. You'll talk about Islam being respectful, and right now, as I'm filming this, there's a man in Pakistan on death row. We think of death row here, we think of mass murderers, people who kill children, people who murder. What did this guy in Pakistan do that got him on death row? He left Islam. You'll talk about how we need to be understanding of a religion and ideology and try to understand the two when right now Gays and homosexuals will not be allowed to confess their love to someone of the same gender in their country. They'll be abandoned by family, beat, killed, jailed, because that's the honorable thing to do in a Muslim country. You can say Islam is not the problem. It's the West, it's colonialism, capitalism, socioeconomics, poverty, lack of education. It's a fringe minority. It's Christianity. It's propaganda. It's Trump. It's the death, the pain, the oppression in Islam is because of everything except Islam. Even though all over Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Morocco, Somalia, other places, historically, today as I do this video, tomorrow, and in the indefinite future, Muslims are also killing each other. The overwhelming majority, something like 90%, 90+% of the victims of Muslim extremist attacks are other Muslims. This is because Muslims will even kill other Muslims if they do not agree with the type of Muslim these Muslims are. They are the wrong shade of Muslim, the wrong sect of Muslim, the wrong color of Muslim. They are not Muslim enough. Talking about this to an Islamiphile just makes me an Islamophobe. The people blowing themselves up, killing people, shooting people, stoning women to death, they are the victims. I'm the one with an irrational fear of the person who just blew up a dozen of people, including children, at a concert. I'm fearful, irrationally fearful, of the masses of videos that you can go look at right now of Muslims telling me that they hate me, they hate you, they hate the West, they hate my kids, they hate my lifestyle, and they will kill all of those. If you can sit here and look a person in the face despite all of the above, the facts, the testimonies, the videos, the body counts, the quotes from the holy books, the support from imams and mosques, the promises that right now they will kill you, you are inferior, you are wrong, they will subjugate you. In spite of all of that, you will still deny there's a problem with Islam, with Islamists, with the holy books and their culture. You are a Muslim apologist and an Islamophile. You'll make excuses for them without shame and in spite of common sense and logic. You will ignore the true moderate Muslim minority who right now is begging for your support, even as their lives are in danger. Fatwas are put on their heads and they're forced to fleeing and hiding or denying outwardly that they believe these things. You'll beg for more and more, just like a religious zealot, just like a junkie. That's what you've become. And how will you react when your wife is raped? What are you going to do when your niece, nephews, and cousins are blown up? What will your reaction be when a terrorist blows up a school bus with your kids on it? What will you do when you hear about another bombing in Iraq or Turkey that kills dozens? What will you think when you are staring down a gun, a knife, a machete, or a suicide bomber, knowing your moments from death? You won't understand. You will blame me. You will blame the West. You will blame America. You'll blame Christians and Jews. You'll blame Islamophobes. You'll blame Trump. Then you will probably apologize to that person, look them in the face and say, no, wait, I support you. Then you will die. And then the other Islamophiles who still hold the door open, stick their fingers in their ears, cover their mouths, cover their eyes, you mean nothing to them. Those that died mean nothing to them. Because to an Islamophile, I killed you. My hateful rhetoric and ignorance killed you. My narrative killed you. What matters is what matters to an Islamophile is showing how tolerant and diverse you are. But only if you're alive. If you're dead, they need to ignore you. Then the cycle repeats. You used to have irrational and unhealthy, self-destructive and willfully ignorant mindsets on Islam. And you used to not be able to be told otherwise. No personal stories, no evidence, surveys, statistics, logic, or insight could have ever shaken you before. No body count could hold any weight with you in the past. but now you're dead. Your story means nothing, and you mean nothing, because Islamophiles don't care about body counts. Islam is a religion to peace, is a religion of peace. Congratulations, you're an Islamophile. Thanks, gang. Go easy.